Alright. Um, I am in my thrift store Cabela's. Alright. And, I'm ready to glow. Let's do this. Freaking tightness. It's gonna witness the madness. Let's go continue. I'm still pissed about the freaking thing. You couldn't hack it. Couldn't hack the freaking.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, what's up?
Did Jacob leave my hoodie in your room by any chance?
What?
Did Jacob leave my hoodie in your room?
A hoodie?
All black hoodie?
I don't know, man. No, most likely not. I'm sorry. You gonna come be on my podcast before you go? There's still one missing. There's another one upstairs, and I have to go get it, and that's where I'm going to meet Mr. X. I'm dreading it, but I know what's going to happen. And I'm going to have to run around and act all scared and stuff, and there's another one, so. There's got to be another way. So what does this turn on? Turns on something in that area. Oh. Same shit. I have 8 bullets left. Maybe this opens up the door to the thing. Or me flipping those switches opens up the door to the thing, this thing. This is annoying. This is very annoying. Alright, did all I can do. All I can do is go back. Cool. Wait, I just went through that. I have to go backwards. That's all that big dude was like a friggin' waste of ammo. God damn it. Gotta jump down here. Cool. This is fun. So in the meantime, I'm going to come up with a topic. What's facing our troubled youth today, in this day and age? Oh, realizing who the good guys are. Um, there are a lot of reasons why people should start investing in a better tomorrow, today. I mean, because not just because of like stability and economic growth and all that other different stuff, but ways to just say that you're not losing your humanity. I mean, there have been a lot of times in my life that I've seen the survivors of fucked up things and people who, man, it's just, what is this? Okay, that's a trash can. Oh man, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? The survivors of like catastrophic events, they lose hope and everything. And I think the best way to pull through in a situation like that is to really, like, before that happens, or before that ever happens at all, start investing in your community. Start investing in your community and stop acting like the money is everything, because it's not. Because when you're stuck on the under the thumbnail of someone else, money is all you have. You know, money is all the things that are good for it. But I mean, appreciating and really appreciating the goods and services that you get for that money is really just something you need to. It's just, it's there and it needs to be there. You know, it's like there are so many programs that people can go into as far as immigrants, refugees, and different things like that. Where's this? I'm gonna go see if there's another entrance somewhere. Especially if you've been used as like drug peddlers and friggin' there's not a lot you can do in certain situations, and realizing that you're not supposed to be the victim. You know, in situations like that, people who take advantage of the system doing in legal ways, and people who take advantage of the system in illegal ways, they bastardize what those rules mean and the reason why those rules were set in place a long time ago. I think there's a lot of times in my life where people had no idea what I was about to do or what I was gonna do, how I was gonna do something. I think that made people fear me more and made me more stressed out than I needed to be. And that's what put me on my art and made me want to a situation where I can get my own business started and start my own business and get my own business started and basically become independent. There have been there have been a lot of times in my life where I saw the opportunity to make a buck and on my own, and I never jumped for it. But I think what I went through with me being stupid and all. And oh shit, okay, got a hand grenade. Got another roll of film, so got another hand grenade. That's weird. Alright. Didn't even know that was there. That was smart of me to run around like an idiot. But I noticed that there were a lot of opportunities for me to make money when I was younger. I didn't take advantage of those opportunities because I kind of wanted to be a kid. You know, kind of wanted to, like, not, like, I really consciously made that decision, and I didn't make money on purpose because I wanted to enjoy something. I wanted to enjoy my life and myself, and I wanted to have that pushes me through those fucked up situations that I know that eventually I'd get into as an adult. I knew myself to be a stupid idiot, but I had self-conscious thought enough to be able to realize and counteract the stupid effects of what I thought I was doing, and made me realize the things that I really wanted. And the most of that is just me wanting more attention from like big producers or people who are marketing companies that could actually get me on the ballot for certain media and stuff like that. I have a unique art style, I really do, and I think I really do have a unique art style. It's I'm like a watercolor. No, I'm like an acrylic color. What is it? A little bit of Van Gogh, a little bit of like elegance or Degas, and a little bit of Rembrandt. I like making like optical illusions and things that it always like made me feel like I was better off doing art and making art, and I think that me being able to enunciate myself even after I got all those concussions in football, because I did get concussions, but that's not I guess that's not the point. I guess let me just see if I can do something with this hand grenade. Combine with, well, can't combine it. Let's just discard it. Alright, let's get this hand grenade. It's like, they don't usually allow you to go into this place in Resident Evil if you, like, already beat it, but part of me is, like, drawn to this area, and I want to figure out what's going on here and what can be used to be able to make something better in this game. Because I've noticed that the problem-solving mechanisms in a lot of different games can be, and that's the point. Like that's what sets people apart from anyone else. If you can see a problem with something, if you can check a problem with something, if you have to go back to like walkthrough after walkthrough to play a certain game, the game isn't giving you enough clues. Like it's just bare bones, and that's the reason why I think that there's going to be a change in game development with the low res chips and all these other different kind of technologies that are coming into play. There's going to be a shift, a tonal shift, and a very big shift in a bunch of different companies that literally are, with the way they invest, it will change it forever. Like it will never happen again, because this type of boom, I guess, is because of people not knowing what they want. And as soon as they know what they want, then as soon as they find out that thing, like, and it seems like advertisers' jobs or marketing companies' jobs has been telling people that it's not what they think, it's not how they think, and it's not how they're like working things into. So when you come out of a situation, like a fucked up situation, or like you see something messed up, and or you experience something messed up, like kidnappings, murders, freaking sacrificial killings, and freaking a whole bunch of different stuff, drug trafficking, human trafficking, a whole bunch of different stuff. People get paid for people walking across the border. That's what they want to stop. That's what they want to stop. Like there's so much shit that they need to regulate and make sure that it doesn't happen. And those people who come to the borders are seeking refuge from thousands and thousands of people who are literally just acting like they're protesting when in actuality they're affiliated with drug bosses that are paying them money to be able to protest, and so they get power in the country's dealings, and then somehow cocaine becomes legal in certain places, or they just look the other way. It happened in Mexico, and it could happen in a lot of different other places that people really don't know. Like Acapulco was freaking amazing and was in the 80s. Oh my gosh, such. And then the crime, and there were people that just were just like, oh, I'm gonna kidnap this dude's wife or something like that to be able to get him to let me close to a celebrity so I can make my name or something like that. And that's not the way to do that. Like, I mean, they had to understand. Those people are mostly dead now, like, or in jail. Like, when you think that making fun of someone or doing something that, it's like, that's why I never tried to make fun of someone that wasn't making fun of me. Like, it's whatever was. It's. I mean, I'm digressing so much, but when you're going into a new economy and new pressures and new things, you have to find a niche. You have to find a niche or something that they don't know they want, or they don't think they want. But you can convince them to be able to tell them that they want that and they should have all of it, and they should buy a lot of it often. That's the reason why I think a lot of people don't realize that that's where their booms came from. Is a recurring thing that you could watch, or a recurring thing that you could keep watching, or a recurring thing that just made a bunch of money, like Marvel Studios. They didn't know that they would pick up all this stuff. They thought that Robert Downey Jr. was at the last leg of his career. And technically he still is, but it's like a really good leg. So just, I mean, storytelling is key in any situation. Just wrapping your mind around something, but also allowing people to fill in the details, like it's a book almost. Like they're enjoying a book, but they're just watching a TV show. It's like you hold stuff back and like reveal it at the end of the episode, but why don't you just not realize that situation or that kind of step that you take to resolve something by the end of the episode, that you could take an entire season to be able to resolve that certain issue. Like, you could take an entire season to be able to resolve that issue, and people say it's boring, but, I mean, all this fucking drugs and money and craziness, it's hyping people up and making them happy about things that they wouldn't normally be happy about. I know I've done coke before, and all it allowed me to do was get more excited about regular everyday things. It just unlocked a part of your brain. It's not like, oh my god, it's like, oh no, like, it's really not that great. and when you have people that are fueled by certain things, energy drinks, any sort of messed up kind of chemical you put in your body, and you think that it's good for you when it sticks to the inside of your intestines, because it makes you think like you're not hungry when in actuality your stomach is completely empty. And that's why I only have like one or two a day. Um, um, the reason I know that is because I got a colonoscopy. I'm 31 years old, getting older, guys. But I see this game, and I see the potential to make so many different things happen. To be able to put everything at your disposal. To be able to realize that, like, you could make a zombie battle royale game, but have the zombies be on the outskirts of everything. Like, you could do so many things. Like this, all this stuff, these little water tanks or something like that. You could work a game mechanic into it to where you have to hurry up and make something in order to take out that boss. Like these little oxygen tanks that are sitting right here. You could like put them in one place and you have to draw him into that place, but that place is like only like a few inches basically of you actually being able to get out of it once he's in there, and then you have to shoot a bullet behind you and blow it up, and that section just falls down or something like that. It's like there's so many ways they could have remastered it, because if you're gonna remaster it, don't say it's a remaster if you're just gonna remake the original game. It's not remastered. It's remade. A remake. It's the same game. It's just better intuitive shooting, and not even that, because I've seen better intuitive shooting on like Call of Duty and like Far Cry. I can't begin to see how this game is just the puzzles just don't work. Like with me, I know I'm a unique case, but I don't go on different sites and look up walkthroughs. I want to be led in a certain direction. Like I want to be told a story as I'm playing the game, and that's where I think these that's why I saw the potential in it. But the almost every single one of them fell short. Almost every single one of them fell short. Resident Evil 0 has an amazing story, but it just has unintuitive controls. But I mean, that shouldn't lead you astray, I guess, but it does. It makes me feel like not playing a video game. And it also makes me see through a facade that some marketing company tried to put through and say that oh, this game is fun, isn't it? It's just like, you don't know what's fun, okay? If you knew it was fun, then you wouldn't put this thing in the video game, this like water tank thing that does absolutely nothing, or that thing right there that could literally explode the dude, and like literally make it not even usable. Like, I hope, I don't pray, I hope that one day they make a better Resident Evil game that allows you to look into a whole bunch of different things, and not just Raccoon City operations. That's like neither here nor there, because it's literally what is it? It's The Division. That's what it is. Or not The Division, but it's literally Time Crisis. It's Time Crisis. That's what it is. It's like zombies pop up, they run after you, and you have to shoot them down and shoot them down and shoot them down and shoot them down. And then, but ammo's not a big deal because you have it all packed on you, or you find it along the way. But it's the same thing as Time Crisis. Every single game that I've ever known to use guns has used literally the same logic every single time, because they think that's what works. But that's not the point of making a game that's interesting. They're going to realize this as soon as they run out of money, because they think it's going to make them more money, and they're going to make nothing. And this is the way that it's going to happen. I know it. I can see it in the future. I'm not clairvoyant, but I can fucking see it just by looking at the markets and the way they keep dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, because they're just appealing to one certain kind of audience. To be able to appeal to all of them, it has to be an inventive story plus intuitive controls. and I've seen it happen so many times with so many things, so many people just going out there. I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff in this video game, and then it's gonna be a great game. And you're like, it's a good game. It looks good. I like it. I like the way it looks. It feels nice. Even in assisted, it still makes me take the shot, and it still makes me lead up to that thing. It's like it's only in a certain area, so it's like it pulls back like an arm would. But in the same sense, I just see all this unused potential, and I see it, and it's remastered. They can't say it's remastered. It's a redo. It's a remake. Don't ever let any video game place say ever that that if it's remastered, then they make a better game. Okay? If it's remastered, then they make a better game. They don't just redo all the make everything shiny for you. They remaster it. Okay? It's mastering. It means they go over your game, redo everything for you, and then Brandon, my friend Brandon, he went through this pretty quickly, and that's the disappointment in me right now that I see. I see the disappointment. I see the whole thing. It's just like there's something in this world that deserves to be seen, and in some ways I don't think it's Resident Evil 2. But the graphics are amazing. The graphics on the thing are amazing. They're great. The mud, all the stuff. They went in and redid the whole graphics, but not the whole game. Not the whole look through, see through. Maybe it was just for like, but that's the point though. Is it's not remastered. Don't ever let a game tell you that it's remastered if it looks exactly the same as its predecessor. Okay? Because they were trying to make this for a different time, for like a new time. It's the reason why he's got better stuff and all this different graphics that are fixed together. It was easier when I was younger to be able to accept this kind of fate, to accept this kind of thing, but I can't anymore. Because your audience grows, your audience matures, and your audience evolves in what they like and how they like things. I mean, maybe it's just my rant. Maybe this is just a rant. And this shirt is too tight for me, but not this one. This one. But yeah, just realize that it could have been something amazing. This thing could have been the best thing ever. They could have intuitivized all the different boss fights, every single boss fight. They could have made more bosses. They could have made the lickers more powerful. They could have made the whole experience a little bit more scary and jarring, because situations they can take a character and put it where that pain is, and realize that character is not real. That's the reason why it's always been to me that I find that the best situation that I find is better for me is the fact that the best situational gameplay that I find is like something that's new that no one's ever done before. Like, they've done it before, but they remastered or made a different take on it. Like, a remastering is a different take on a new game, on an old game. Okay? This is not remastering. Remember that. It's you can say it's remastered all you want to. It's just not. You add a couple different scenes that you didn't show in the original one, but I saw it in the original one, and they didn't do it. It's not remastered. So remember that. It wasn't what I was expecting, and now I don't feel like playing it anymore. So, I know that's really annoying. I think I need to stop doing that, I guess. But I also know that the more I think about this gameplay and the more I think that you are your own one-person bomb squad. You can diffuse situations that you think are happening. You can diffuse the way the markets are going because it's defined by you. It's defined by the consumer. Everyone's like so pissed off because their idea doesn't make any money, but they don't realize that there's people change their likes on a daily basis. People say they don't change or they'll never change, and that's boring as fuck. It's so boring. I tried living in the country. It didn't work for me. It sucks. There's no Wi-Fi all the time. There's cable one, and that's it. Or wired connections. And all the houses are already outfitted because they already did. Because every house in there has been outfitted with stuff. There's no new houses opening up or new places going. There's no new anything, and there's no new stuff. Like, there's no people I haven't met before. Everyone knows everyone, and it's so bad. I hate it. Not to say I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone because you can't. Not to say that I can't, but I won't. Even I had some good experiences there, but I never went hunting because there weren't a lot of animals there. They were all in northern, like they were like the coasts are all dominated by humans. So I mean, it's the reason why I stay in New Orleans because I mean it's close to like the easiest thing to like it's a little bit of both worlds, like a little bit of both. I mean, not enough money because the farmers are like right outside the city, and not a lot of people who are like multi-billionaires, because and that makes sure that your economy won't just adhere to them, seeing as there are so many in a certain area. And that's the reason why I think a lot of times LA is given this whole like it's so great in LA, and then there's like no really it sucks, and it's like you should have said that beforehand because you gave me a false kind of like worldview, and if that's funny to you, then I'm gonna stop fucking watching you. If you think that like playing with people's emotions is the best thing, then if you think that playing with people's emotions is the best thing in your life, then you should probably pick a different profession because you won't last long. Playing with people's emotions and putting on different thumbnails that people think, oh my god, it's the question that makes them, no, it's a good story. Okay? Whatever story is out there, whether it be real, news, anything, real stories get people to like them. Real stories about people making stuff, and I farted, people like making stuff and selling it and doing a bunch of different stuff that they should be doing on their own, making their own money and making their own name. That's the American dream. Not like, oh, first you get the money, then you get the power. No, none of that shit. Everyone wants to say that those are all suicidal people that need therapy. All that stuff. All those ideals. All those ideals were set forth for people who think that they like that kind of stuff, but they really don't. They just like the idea of having that power. But understandably so, they won't go any further in their life. They won't reach that level of happiness and enlightenment. They won't. Like it just won't happen for them because they're dampening their senses with so much fucked upness. So much fucked upness. See? It's hot air. It's all just hot air. Filling yourself with hot air, and then you gotta realize you gotta cool off every once in a while. You gotta realize you gotta cool off, you gotta relax, and the more hot air you fill yourself up with, the more you feel like you're $1,000,000, and when it releases, you're back. Just hot air. It's all they're filling your heads with. It's all those marketing companies are telling you about the newest game that's coming out or the newest thing that's coming out that has the same targeting system that games 10 years ago had. It's boring. and you got to figure out this whole ideal. I turned on that thing, so I should be able to open that door, but I can't. But I have to find a key somewhere that is around somewhere. I found an item. I mean, it's the same grind. There's only so much grind that you can actually put into a game without the certain payoff. People are not, trust me, people who aren't on drugs or like on certain happy pills that people put them on, people who aren't on happy pills aren't fascinated by bright colors. Like, Overwatch is not my shit. It is not mine. Like, it isn't. Like, it's so easy. Everything's basically put on a platter for you, and then they have to make the game a little bit more challenging because everything's so brightly colored. There's no shadows. There's nowhere to hide. And that's not what real life is about. There's always something in the shadows, whether it's dust or a monster. From dust to monster. It's usually where it goes. So, you are your own one-person bomb squad. You can diffuse situations that you think are happening. You can allow people to let them know. You can allow or speak up if things you think aren't going right. Let people know that you feel a certain way. Because I internalize my feelings, and I feel as though there are other people out there that did that, and all they can do is just look at the world as it falls to shit, and our markets fall apart because people invested in the wrong things. Books are still around, even though people still don't think that they're gonna last or something. Everyone thinks that this one thing is gonna happen, and then they change the market for like 20 or 30 years, and then it all just dwindles down to nothingness because all it was their speculation instead of actual investment. Instead of actually investing in a real estate market that's prime for not only farming, cultivation, planting trees that bear fruit, orchards, freaking a bunch of stuff, and the heavy metals and the different things that are in the water only exist inside the city because that's where they do a lot of different factory propulsion shit, and NASA and all those other different places exist in like Mississippi and a whole bunch of different other places. Like, they don't really refine anything here all the time. Like, that's the reason why those gardens that people are actually making right now probably will start doing really, really good soon. And then they'll realize that it's prime stuff to just put your stuff on. Put your freaking plant seeds inside the ground and then make it happen. Make that money. Feed people. Have fun. And just I purposely didn't work on a farm because I didn't want to be a part of a system that I know is going to change. Because the way that people used to do stuff, they realize now it was just semantics. They were just doing it because they wanted to. Like the ash fields and shit like that, like burning your crops or burning off the rest of your crops or something like that. They know now that it's like fucking terrible for everything. It strips everything of its nutrients. It strips every single part of the dirt of its nutrients, and people don't notice that. Like, man, there are so many practices that if they would have implemented 20 years ago, we'd be seeing a boom right now. But everybody's talking about 2020 and all other different things. They're just fixating on a number because they want people to be more productive. And it makes me lose my shit on any of those people who think that they can control someone just by dangling some sort of fucking fake goal inside their head or inside or around them. Dangle some real money in front of their face and actually give them their benefits. And if you can't afford it, then you shouldn't have become a company in the first place. You should have become a mom and pop shop if you felt like just making money for yourself. Realize that before you make anything. And be yourself. Because if you're not yourself, then people don't know how to take you. People won't know how to be around you. People won't know how to make... I get more frustrated about worldly events than I do myself. Than I do me taking medication now. I used to get really pissed off about taking medication. And sometimes I wouldn't take it. Because I believe in my heart of hearts that I was okay. And understandably so, I wasn't. I was just putting up towards shutting up. And holding my head down on some sort of bullshit. Realize that the good people know this shit is happening almost every single day. And they do things about it. And they make things. And they sell things. And they give to charity. And a whole bunch of different stuff. Start investing in your own land. Wherever you are. If you're not in a place that's free. If you're not in a place where they don't own your land. Try to go someplace that's not. I mean, if you're in a place that people own your land, or owned by the government, try to go someplace that's not, and realize real life isn't going to be like that. Real life isn't going to hand you something and tell you you're better than whoever there are around you, because it gives you a false sense of confidence. And what if that person takes your shit and just fucking tells you about it and says, this is the worst product I've ever seen of yours. This is the worst. This is the absolute worst I've ever seen you. So realize that. If they say that to you and you can't seem to get out of that, I had to leave a whole relationship because she was just pessimistic all the time. And it not only pessimistic, but detrimental to her own pessimism, or feeding into her own pessimism, because she was traumatized in her early relationship, and she felt as though she had been taken advantage of, because she had allowed herself to be taken advantage of by her family, by her friends, and definitely by her ex-husband. And she blamed it mostly on me. She was I was gonna Me Too her, or she was gonna Me Too me, or something like that. Or she was gonna say the Me Too movement was literally telling her that, oh, she shouldn't have sex, or something like that. And she felt pressured by me because she thought that I was like every other dude. If she told me no, then I would stop. She never told me no. And I should have known that there was a problem. I should have known that there was an absolute problem. But I wanted to see the better part of her. I wanted to think that maybe she was coming out of it, and maybe she wasn't going back under. I wanted to save her from it. I wanted to take her away from Mississippi and bring her to New Orleans and tell her that everything was going to be all right. That's all I ever wanted to do for her. And she made me her enemy. She will never get that attention ever again from me. Never, because she took me as a light boy. She took me as a lighter. She took me as a light. I was light. I was nothing to her. And it stood out in the fact that she didn't know what she was doing in her relationships. She didn't know how she was going towards something. She was going from relationship to relationship to relationship, constantly thinking that if the only thing that was helping her was a man. And it was her that was basically Me Tooing herself. And then once I get pissed off and trip a 5-year-old because she's basically beating up her brother on a daily basis. She deserves to get beaten up, and he's deserved to get beaten up by their parents, spanked. She even thought in some cases that she had a burden on her. She would never relax. And I had to constantly rub her feet and rub her shoulders. And even then, it just didn't help. Because she was just in knots all the time. Stressed out all the time. When you put yourself in a situation, when you allow yourself to become more stressed out than you absolutely need to be, when you put yourself in that hole, that basically hole, you're creating symptoms of nothingness. You're creating symptoms because you think that somehow you're helping yourself out of a situation because fear or hate or anger is going to help you. No, it never helps. Okay? It always pulls you from within. It always takes you and tears you apart. It always will, and it always has. It always will. Anger and greed and all that other different shit will tear you apart. But being assertive and telling a person where you stand is always the best course of action. And that's why no one trusts these companies anymore. Because they're constantly trying to tell people what they're thinking. Be yourself. And have a good day. I'm going to play this offline because every single time I play it here, I just go into some spiel. But that's actually who I am. This is who I am. I love to joke about it. I love absolute jokes and all the time jokes. But I also love to be serious because I've actually looked at all this stuff and studied of the courses of these constant future generations just hating us and thinking that all we did was look and marvel at our own stupidity. And this, and in some ways, is very stupid. Because there's all these boxes. Wait, I don't have the knife. But none of them break against bullets. I have 0 bullets left because I was trying to shoot something that doesn't explode, even though it should explode in real life. Have a good day, and video games should teach you about life. And that's the reason why I think that sometimes people don't even consider it art in some countries. Because it tries to make you think that something won't happen. But that's the point, is things like that do happen. And the reason why they censor in other countries is because they murder people all the time. That's the secret that no one knows. They murder people constantly. People see murders on the street constantly. They don't cover anything up. They don't cover anything at all. If someone gets hit by a car and they actually survive, everyone claps because all they've seen is fucked up shit for a really long time, and the cops do not do damage control or try to shield it from the public. Maybe it's a good thing in some cases, but when you're walking your 5-year-old around and they have to look at a dead body or mangled corpse because it just happened, it's not the best thing to look at, you know? So, have a good day, and be yourself. Blue, 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 blue.